This is the story of a heist. Not with guns and masks, but with phones and audacity. One man targeted the biggest bank in the world and walked away with $1 billion. Here's how he did it. And a quick welcome to the Nova channel. We believe great ideas can change the world, and our mission is to share them with you. If you're new here, subscribe to get the stories that inspire tomorrow's leaders. Now let's get back to the video. Back in 1992, one man named George Soros is about to pull off the greatest trade in financial history. He wasn't just betting on stocks. He was betting against an entire country. His target was the British pound. But to get it, he first had to defeat the mighty Bank of England. This wasn't just a trade. It was a financial declaration of war. After World War II, Europe decided to link its economies together like a chain gang. They created a system called the Exchange Rate Mechanism, or ERM. Think of it like this. Every European currency was handcuffed to each other. They had to move together at the same pace. Sounds good, right? Wrong. It was a disaster waiting to happen. Because if one country's economy got sick, it couldn't take its own medicine. It was trapped. Fast forward to Britain. The UK's economy was in a recession. It was sick and getting sicker. The UK economy turned to the Bank of England for salvation. But the bank needed to lower interest rates. Think of it like giving the economy a shot of adrenaline. But because of the handcuffs of the ERM, they couldn't. Lowering rates would make the pound weaker, which was against the rules. So, to follow the rules, Britain was forced to keep rates high, slowly choking its own economy. It was a patient bleeding out, refusing to remove the knife because of a rulebook. The pound was a sitting duck. Everyone knew it, but no one had the guts to pull the trigger. George Soros wasn't just a trader. He was a financial detective. He saw the flaw. He saw the wounded giant. He knew the handcuffs were made of paper. Someone just needed to tear them. His plan was so simple, it was genius. It's called short selling. Imagine this. You know your neighbor's expensive vase is about to shatter. So you borrow it from him, promising to return it later. You immediately sell it for $1,000. Then, as you predicted, it shatters. Now it's worthless. You go to a flea market, buy a similar-looking but worthless vase for $10, and give it back to your neighbor. You just made $990. Soros did this, but with billions of British pounds. He was borrowing and selling the vase before it even cracked. Soros started quietly borrowing and selling $1.5 billion in pounds. The Bank of England barely noticed. They were the giant and he was a mosquito. But then he got his signal. A German banker gave an unclear, boring interview. To anyone else, it was noise. To Soros, it was the go signal for his showdown. That night, while London slept, Soros and his team moved in silence. One by one, they lit up phone lines across the globe, calling every bank, demanding just one thing: give us every pound you've got. By morning, he had gathered 10 billion in borrowed pounds and unleashed it all onto the market. The Bank of England woke up to a financial tsunami. They panicked. They started frantically buying pounds with their reserves. They burned through billions. It was like trying to put out a forest fire with a water pistol. In a final act of desperation, the Bank of England raised interest rates to 15%. This was like prescribing poison as medicine, hoping it would cure the disease. It was chaos. The markets went insane. But Soros didn't flinch. He kept selling. And investors saw his confidence and followed him. While the giant was staggering. At 7:30 p.m., after a day of bloody financial combat, Britain surrendered. They quit the ERM. The pound was set free. The day became known as Black Wednesday, a national humiliation. George Soros had won. He made a profit of $1 billion off the British economy. But here's the craziest part of the story. Losing the fight saved Britain. Freed from the handcuffs, the Bank of England could finally lower rates and heal the economy. The cheaper pound made British goods irresistible to the world. The UK economy didn't just recover. It exploded into one of the biggest growth streaks in its history. Soros didn't just break the bank. He broke the chains. He was the villain who accidentally became the hero. And hidden inside this story are 3 lessons every entrepreneur should remember. 1. Find the crack. Soros didn't follow the trends. He found the fatal flaw in the system everyone else accepted. 2. Bet big on your conviction. When he saw the crack, he didn't just tap it. He swung a sledgehammer. No risk, no reward. 3. Sometimes, failure is a setup. Britain's biggest failure led to its greatest success. Your biggest setback could be your launchpad. If your mind is blown by this level of strategic genius, you belong here. Smash that subscribe button for more stories that decode business warfare. Quick question. Was Soros a criminal genius or the ruthless hero the UK needed? Let me know your answer in the comments. And to see how another outsider took down a giant, watch our next video of Netflix blockbuster next. See you there.